Hi Aquarius, welcome to the end of, what month is it? January 2017. It's Rena here. As you can see, I've already laid out the cards. I was running out of memory, so I had to erase some old files. And I started over again. So, what do we have here? Well, I was already starting to talk about it until I got rudely interrupted by lack of memory. I was saying that there's a decision that some of you may be trying to make. I did want to tell you that you are having a new moon in your sign, and that is happening on January 27th. So that can be a new beginning for you in terms of whatever is going to happen in the next 12 months. So that could be if your sun is in Aquarius, that's your solar return, and then the following new moon is your new moon. And because I think the sun goes into Aquarius at the end of this week. So that'll be cool. And happy birthday to those of you who are born in the first decanate, 10 degrees of the month, of the sign of Aquarius. So swords are your suit and your element of air. And so there may be, I think you may be kind of thinking, mulling over a lot of stuff at the end of January. Maybe there are some loose ends that you have to tie up before you go into a new cycle. Maybe there's a lingering decision that you've been avoiding making. Now this is a general reading, so this could be about two job offers or situations, and this could be relationship oriented. I do think for some of you it is relationship. Perhaps you're deciding between two people. Whenever there's a two, that could always be the case. But I believe that for some of you, you're coming from a divorce situation because we have the Judgment card, and a lot of times it could be a legal decision. But even in career, the same thing occurs because the Judgment card can also represent a rebirth, and it can represent cause and effect. So perhaps, for some people, I do feel like you're coming into a bit of luck. I don't really like the word luck anymore because it sounds random. Let's say you're becoming aligned with your purpose. And maybe it's no mystery that this is happening because this is your solar return. So in your new moon, so maybe that's just, before that happens, you have 12 house matters, and that's like tying up loose threads, kind of the old cobwebs, clearing them out, so to speak. So the Judgment card can kind of point to this, the brink of a decision that has to be made. And the very fact that there is kind of this situation happening didn't happen by accident, let's put it that way. It happened because of prior choices that were made and prior actions that were taken. And it's not that it's bad, it's kind of like a crescendo, so to speak, because it's like it's coming to a head, things. In February, actually, February 10th, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in the sign of Leo. This will be your 7th house of committed partnership. So that may be kind of where this all is leading to, where you find something out about a partner, you end a relationship. For some people, it could be that they make that commitment. Maybe they were on the fence and everything becomes clear to them that they don't want to lose this person. It could be any and everything, but it could be something that spotlights a marriage or a long-term relationship. But this is kind of the opening salvo, so to speak. This is kind of giving you a glimpse into February. And that can have long-lasting consequences because eclipses are very powerful full moons and they have a long afterlife. Okay, so maybe the thing is you're deciding whether or not to end a relationship. If you're deciding between something, maybe you're deciding to quit a job or something, you seem to be on the brink of having a lot of success and serendipitous occurrences occurring. So you may decide to either go it alone or choose something that's not connected to what you're doing right now, in other words. So maybe if you have another job offer but you've been at one place for 15 years and you're afraid to leave because you don't like change very much, the Wheel of Fortune is suggesting that the wheel is turning in your favor. So you don't have to be afraid that it's going to be a disaster after you leave. Now, obviously, this is a general reading. You have to use your common sense and whatever's happening in your life. But just putting it out there, that there's a sense of being aligned with everything that's going on. And that's always a nice feeling because it's like everything seems to fall into place, you know, when that happens. It's always like a really great feeling. The higher message is the Four of Swords. So you're being told, maybe by your spirit guides, maybe by angels, maybe by the universe, maybe by, you know, I don't want to say the flying spaghetti monster because I believe in God, but if you are one of those Aquarians who's an atheist who watches astrology readings, then maybe that would be maybe you're a Pastafarian. But whatever you are, or whoever's telling you this, or maybe I'm just telling you this, the Four of Swords is about retreat and it's about recuperation. And, you know, I always say having a spa day, but it's really deeper than that because it's kind of resting your thoughts. It's kind of going into meditation. And it suggests that you've been through some kind of ordeal. To me, at least, it always suggests that, because if you didn't go through some kind of ordeal, you wouldn't need to recuperate from it. So, because Aquarius is a very active and social sign, this may be a little bit not how you typically do things. You typically are very much talking to other people, you know, sharing ideas. Even about your own life, you may like to get that kind of feedback. But this may be a time when it's important for you to just cultivate your own essence and not worry about what other people think about your situation, because it's, you know, other people's opinions are based on their own conditioning. They really have no validity in your life. Now, that's probably overblown. Of course, they can provide insight because sometimes we're so deeply entrenched in something that we can't see straight. But still, when you're getting advice, understand that that's their set of values and what's important to them and what matters to them and what is relevant for their life. And your mileage may vary when it comes to your life. It also may mean that you're thinking too much, that you're trying to over-intellectualize things and trying to use your mind to solve all your problems. And sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes the intuition can be squelched, squashed down by an overly analytical mind that you naturally possess. What crosses you is the Hierophant. Now this represents the sign of Taurus, so I don't know if that is significant to you in life. This would be a card, I would say, this is a card of conformity. This is a card of tradition. So this is your worst enemy, because Aquarius is the one with the blue hair and the sleeve of tats. Although now Aquarius would be somebody who has normal colored hair and no tats, because it's just so typical to have tats. But on a less superficial level, it's about fitting into the structure of society. And this is not how you typically roll. So some of you may have jobs in corporate America. Well, corporate, whatever, corporate everything, corporate Europe, whatever. And it's very important that you not go along with that, because that is not part of what your soul is here to express. Your soul is here to express what it means to be different, and what it means to be an individual, be individualistic, not to be a cog in the wheel. And that may be what is causing a bit of a challenge for you, because you may feel like, well, now what do I do? I'm trying to, have this career. Maybe you've invested a long time in a particular career, but it just is too stifling to your individuality. And also, the Hierophant refers to a philosophical framework. Maybe you don't have one, or you have kind of abandoned it for whatever reason. And you are trying to, for some people, could be being a rebel without a cause. Like, you're being too rebellious for your own good. You're not cooperating enough, because you think that you're expressing your freedom, but it's a misguided behavior, because it's not getting you where you want to be. It's just creating more conflict in your life. So that can be it too. And also, and even though this is not necessarily a card of intuition per se, it's more of an organized religion versus a spirituality type of a deal. It still can point to somebody who is overly materialistic, who's only seeing the side of life that involves the gross matter, the five senses, and is not obeying, or I shouldn't say obeying, but looking at it from a higher perspective. Their life, including their career, including a relationship. And, relationships are things that people get into for different reasons. And sometimes there are even materialistic reasons that people get into relationships. And they turn down somebody else who is less, worldly, because they think that the person is not successful enough. And that can cause problems as well. So the advice, or what's coming in, is the 9 of Wands. And so this is associated with the fire element, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. It can be talking about having boundaries. Maybe there's some reason that you need to be vigilant about something. Maybe there's a person that, especially if there is a Taurus person that is in your past, that may be someone that you have to kind of be prepared to deal with again. And it can just be even in terms of any sort of job that you end up accepting. If it's a new position, that you are very clear about what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate. And then we have, as the outcome, the Death card. So this is about transition. And as I say, you're kind of tying up loose ends at the end of this month as you go into your solar return. And this is a card where you can't really prevent whatever is going to happen from happening. Maybe this is a prelude again to that full moon that's actually a lunar eclipse in February. Maybe this is kind of like a preview of what's going to happen. And the whole idea with the eclipse is just to like let it happen, not to try to stop change from happening. Whether it's going away from you, which sometimes the lunar eclipses are all about, or coming towards you with the solar eclipses. So, this is very interesting. And this could be speaking about things that, this also deals with the sign of Scorpio, by the way. And this could be something that, is related to whatever decision that you had to make. Maybe you're so busy agonizing over a decision that it gets made for you. So, very interesting. So, I hope you enjoyed this, Aquarius. And if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great rest of the month. Bye.